Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Paradox Nerd here, and today we're going to do a quick review of Hot Toys MMS 389 Star Wars ShoreTrooper from the Star Wars Rogue One movie. And I'm really excited to talk to you about the figure, but let's start off with the packaging. Now, the packaging comes in your standard shoebox, your Star Wars themed colored packaging with the black and the gray, and their Star Wars logo in the front. The only difference is that they're starting to ship out the new Rogue One figures with this band around it with their name and the color of that matches the figure itself. So since the Shore Trooper is brown and they decided to color it a lightish brown, sandy color, and I know for a fact that the Darth Vader one was black and red, obviously red to match his lightsaber and the dark side, and the Death Trooper was black and green, and the green comes from the green light that's attached to his helmet. So by Hot Toys doing this, it actually adds a uniqueness to the packaging, which I really like. It's just kind of boring every single time you get a Star Wars figure. It comes in this color packaging, and thank goodness the Hot Toys listened to the fans and decided to add this, just to add a little spice to the packaging. So kudos to them, and I really like it. Just the back of the packaging just kind of tells you the number of the MMS and the warning. So let's open this guy up. And inside you get the art print, and just behind this is just a regular eggshell packaging. All right, and I would say I would have to give the actual packaging, I would say an 8 out of 10. Okay. All right, let's move on to the actual figure. All right, so the next part of my review that I would like to talk about is the Shore Trooper himself, starting off with his head sculpt. And what can I say? Hot Toys did such an amazing job with the head sculpt of this figure. I mean, take a closer look. I mean, you have scratches and weathering and battle damage all around his helmet. Take a look at his visor too. Like, they didn't cheap out on the visor material. They didn't use like some reflective material that will kind of get annoying, but just by looking at the helmet. I believe it's the Death Star. From what I heard, but just take a look all around. I mean, Hot Toys did such an amazing job, with capturing the likeness of the Shore Trooper. Some more weathering there. Just the paint application is just amazing. Yeah, I'm really blown away with the helmet, the head sculpt of this figure, and I have to say, it is badass. Give his his head sculpt, his helmet, a 10 out of 10. Okay, so let's talk about the rest of the Shore Trooper, starting off with the paint on his armor and the materials that they used. So I would have to say that Hot Toys did an amazing job with the paint. You take a look closely at the armor. It's got some scratches, weathering. The paint application is really good. Got some scratches in the back of his armor. I don't know what that is. His belt, his utility belt. That's awesome. The ammo pouch. Look at that. Put some like little metal buttons there. Really cool. I believe this is like almost leather. It's like, I think maybe pleather. And the paint application on it too is really cool. The paint on his armor, his red. I believe he's the captain. I'm not too sure. The blue, the white. Just taking a look at it. I'm not sure what that is, but I believe that could be like something for his, to put his like his walkie-talkie or his comm. I'm not sure. Let's move on to his pants. His pants are like sewn. It's not cheap material too. It's like thick. So really cool that they did an awesome job with his trousers. Some more weathering on his shin armor. Look at that. The detail, the amount of detail on the armor. Yeah, look, scratches, the weathering. Yeah, Hot Toys, they knocked the ball out of the park with this. The paint and material. A 10 out of 10. I'm really happy with it. Yeah, 10 out of 10, definitely. Alright, let's talk about the ShoreTrooper's articulation. And starting off with his head, he's got a lot of articulation. You can move his head from up, down, left, right. Move his head side to side. If you look down this way, diagonal, up. Really, really good articulation. So I'm happy with that. So now here's the part where it kind of gets restricted with his articulation, just because he's got a lot of armor on him. So, you know, in my opinion, anything with with a lot of armor, articulation is not going to be that great. So let's start off with his arms. If you kind of pull it out a little bit and you take a look, that's as far as he can go, you know, outstretch his arms. It's as far as he could move it out. I would say that's like about a 30 to 40 degree angle out. So yeah, you just got to be careful. You don't want to be, you know, breaking any part of his armor off by just forcing it out some more. So I'm not gonna do that. So that's as far as it goes with his shoulder. Now to move his arm forward, here's also the little tricky part, is that it doesn't move out too much. So I'm gonna push this armor in, actually upward, so you see if it can move his arm out. But no, that's as far as it goes. Same with the other side. So you can just kind of move that out. So you're kind of hindered because of his armor, and you just got to be careful, like you're not forcing anything and breaking anything off, because it's not like, you know, real like metal. You know, it's like a plasticky kind of material, so you don't want to like chip anything off or, you know, bend anything too much. Next I would like to talk about is the elbow joint. I mean, for it to have some more movement, you would have to push armor up a little bit, just like that. So you kind of like bend his elbow so that it could be about like a 90-degree angle, just like that. Same with the other side. So, And here's my gripe also moving on down his arm is that, you know, his wrist joint is good, but you gotta be careful because they easily fall out. You know, it could easily pop out, is what I'm trying to say. So just be very careful when you're trying to get that pose and capture, like, you know, that holding gun pose, and it just, you know, easily falls out. So I'm not really liking the wrist articulation too much. So let's move on down to his hips. So you can kind of move his hips outwards, not too much. Like I said, like I mentioned before, is that his armor kind of restricts you moving his hips out further than that. But then again, you're not going to be like Jean-Claude Van Damme doing like splits with him. I don't think you would want to pose him like that. So that's, you know, same with moving his legs out. That's as far as it goes, and you can see it starts getting restricted with the armor. So yeah. So, but his knee joint articulation is really good. You can move it past like 90 degrees, which is really cool. So definitely happy with that. Now let's move on to his ankles. His ankles can, you know, it's got decent amount of articulation, so you can move it from side to side, front, back. Same with the other side, front, back, side to side. So, I mean, with his shoulders, you know, it's pretty understandable because of his shoulder armor that it's going to get restricted. His elbows are not too bad. His hips and knees aren't too bad. His neck is amazing with the articulation, but his wrist joints are just not cutting it out for me. It just pops out pretty easily. Like I mentioned, like you're trying to pose him, and you know it just pops right out. So you just got to be careful with that, you know. So I would have to say I give his articulation, I would say a 7 out of 10. Okay, now with the accessories, you know, Hot Toys provides you with an extra pair of pegs, which is pretty cool. They do that with all its Hot Toys figures. Comes with this backdrop, which I really like it, especially when you're gonna like display it with your DTOF. So, you know, it's really cool. You know, whoever did this cool backdrop, just the art itself is really cool. You know, we got I believe those are the ACTs, and ShoreTrooper, the helmet, and at the back of the backdrop, I'm not sure. I believe this is reversible, but I think this is the entrance. So that is actually really cool. So this is the door, I believe, that they come out. The ShoreTroopers come out when they sound the alarm. So, you know, you could probably, you know, do some cool poses with this in the back, just to kind of mimic the movie of them coming out of the bunker that they were stationed at. Let's move on to what else it comes with. It comes with these. Well, it comes with 2 pairs of hands, and these are the fisted. Hopefully it focuses. These are the fisted hands. It's pretty cool because, you know, the detail on it, the weathering, the damage, like, you know, like the battle damage, the detail on the gloves itself. Look at that. It has like the grip linings. That is really cool. look at that. That is pretty cool. Alright, and this is the other pair of hands that comes with. These are the trigger finger hands. So there's the weathering there. And the inside of the gloves, which is pretty cool. Right. And it comes with also an E22 blaster, which is, look at that, just almost like worn out look. That is pretty cool. I think that is like a tactical light, I believe. The scope. I'm not sure what the lettering says. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what the FR and the EE stands for. Has a little like red coloring to it. And the buttstop, I'm just amazed by the detail on this gun. Comes with the strap, the magazine clip. Look at that magazine clip. It's like Hot Toys took the gun and just kind of shrunk it to 1/6 scale, which, you know, as a collector, that's what you want out of a collectible figure. That is so cool. Alright, let's move on to the actual base. Cool picture at the bottom of the base, figure base, of the ShoreTrooper, the nameplate, the shiny nameplate, which is cool, and this thing. I wish they kind of add magnets to it so it kind of like sticks if they wanted to separate it. But you know, it's still cool. All right, and that's you know, with all the accessories that it comes with, it's pretty cool. I just kind of wish they added more accessories. You know, like another pair of hands where the ShoreTrooper's pointing or something. You know, add a couple more poses that you could do with the ShoreTrooper, but you know, I would have to say it's kind of lacking on the accessory parts. I mean, you could get the cool backdrop, but you know, you think about the Darth Vader one that Hot Toys came out with for the Rogue One movie. It came out all these pairs of hands and lightsabers and everything, including the backdrop. So I kind of wish that they did that with the ShoreTrooper. So with that being said, I would have to give the accessory department a 7 out of 10, just because the fact that it's lacking like, you know, an extra pair of hands or maybe a sidearm or something, you know. This is, but otherwise it's still cool. Okay, so overall I scored the ShoreTrooper about an 8.4. You know, with, you know, his awesome head sculpt, his paint apps, I mean, all of that is amazing. But what's lacking is the lack of accessories, and his articulation kind of hindered him from getting a better score. But overall, definitely highly recommend him if you come across him. He is an awesome figure, and I'm glad that I picked him up, and definitely going to be adding him to my collection. Thank you again for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, and there will be more reviews to come. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Hey, you! Identify yourself.
I can